So, many foreigners want to come here to Brazil for a lot of reasons. And in this video, I'll give my opinion as a native here, lived here over the last 35 years. What you should not do when you are coming here. If we're planning these three things that I will tell you here, there is a lot of chance you'll get frustrated. Okay, I'm not saying I'm the owner of the truth. Okay, everything is possible. Okay, everything in life is possible, but I'll give you my opinion. Okay, I think my opinion as a native has some value. That's necessary. That's not necessary. I'm not saying that I'm absolutely right in this. Okay, but I think I am. So the first thing you should not, should be your focus when you are coming here in Brazil, is to open a business with a lot of employers. Okay, I really recommend you open a business here in Brazil because Brazil has a lot of scarcity of basic service, but this scarcity has a reason. Okay, nothing is random. Okay, if it has scarcity of business here in Brazil, is because you have a reason, and one of the major reasons is working with employers here be very hard. Okay, not only because of the bureaucracy we have here, that is not only because of the severe labor laws we have here in Brazil, not only because the consumer laws and every kind of bureaucracy the state creates to protect the victims of the entrepreneurs that are the employees and the consumers from the evil entrepreneur. It's kind of funny, but Brazil has this culture. You have to understand that Brazilian people has this anti-capitalism culture. Okay, they are extremely hostile to entrepreneurs. Okay, and your employees are not different. They are hostile to entrepreneurs in the majority of the cases. I'm not generalizing, but 99% of the employers are like this. Okay, so they do have, many times they will not help you to grow. They will kind of be like jealous, something like this, not want you to prosper, things like this. Okay, so these lot of factors make working with employers here in Brazil very hard. Okay, so if you have a lot of employers in your business here in Brazil, you have more chances to be unsuccessful, not because you don't know how to do business, but because you wouldn't know how to deal with our culture here. Okay, it's very hard for me as a native deal with this kind of thinking of the general people here, and even for you that lives maybe in a rich country with a lot of entrepreneurship culture. Here is not like this. Okay, so if you want to open a business here in Brazil, open a very small business for the beginning with only you and your wife, let me say like this, or your son working with you, and only one employee at maximum. Okay, this is your beginning, and you can learn as the day passes, as the years passes, how to deal with this kind of culture, and maybe someday you can put a big business. You can make a lot of money with a small business. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not the fact you have a big business you make money. It's not the fact, and it's not the fact your business is small that you make little money. Okay, you can have a very small business and make a lot of money if you have high profit margins. And Brazil is this kind of environment where we have scarcity and extremely difficult of doing business, but in the other side you have the possibility to have high profit margins. That's the beauty. Okay, you can have a small business with high profit margins if you know how to do something very peculiar. Okay, let me say in the culinary, you have some skill of culinary, exotic, something like this. You put a small, very small restaurant with only you working alone and one employee, something like this for beginning. That can be very interesting. Or a small bed and breakfast hotel in a countryside in the beach for the tourists and the locals. Okay, it's a very nice idea, another nice idea of business that you can invest a few money if you make dollars or euros. Okay, and you can start a business here very cheap. Okay, as I mentioned, The second thing I would like to recommend you to avoid is not come here to get not think that you're coming here to get a easy wife, as here was some kind of passport bro paradise. Okay, here in Brazil we have a lot of poverty. Obviously, Brazil is a very poor country. Okay, yes, we have a lot of rich people, but we have a lot of population, so we have people with business, so we have a lot of rich people because of the number of the population. But in general, Brazil is a very poor country. But that doesn't mean that women are giving a shit about passports. Okay? Yes, a lot of women want really a passport. Okay, this is a huge advantage. But sorry, I'm speaking a little bit fast here, but let's continue. But that not mean you have an easy life, because here in Brazil we have a lot of competitions. We have a lot of alphas, male, let's say like this, alpha, okay? And I don't see a lot of women begging to a foreign, come here, please come here to get me out of Brazil, okay? I love some of these kind of women, but it's not a lot, okay? So there is a very big possibility that you come here and being frustrated, thinking that we'll have an easy life, okay? No, that's not the case. But you can have luck, okay? We have a lot of nice conservative women here that want to work and have their own money, but in the same time they want to be feminine and partner from your husband. Nice women, okay? We have a lot of nice women here in Brazil. Okay, but you have not an easy life. If you are not alpha, you don't have this kind of angle here very well defined. You are not tall. You are not all that kinds of beauty attributes. You will be in a competition with alphas here. Okay, so work in yourself, in your communication, your appearance, things like this to get better chance. But it's not easy. So easy to get a date here like this, okay? The third thing I would recommend, the third thing you shouldn't, in my opinion, do if you're coming here to Brazil, you should not look for this, is getting a job. Brazil definitely is not the best place in the world to get a job because, as I said, there is scarcity of jobs here because there are scarcity of companies, because all of these laws, of this bureaucracy, this entrepreneur thinking that I mentioned here in this video and all the other videos I relate here. So the scarcity of jobs make salaries, wages be very, very low, okay? So the wages here generally are very, very low. The purchase power is very, very low, okay? So you will not have a good life if you are thinking to come here to have a job. Okay, I'm not thinking there are no good jobs in Brazil. Okay, I'm not generalizing, but to getting a job, it's much better to go to the United States, to rich countries that we have a more active entrepreneurship thinking, that we have more jobs available, that the wages are better. Okay, rich countries in general are better to get jobs. Okay. Poor countries is a little bit strange, but poor countries generally are good to get to put business, but specifically kinds of business. As I said in the beginning of the video in Brazil, in my opinion, small business with high profit margins, okay, you can make a lot of money. Okay, we have scarcity of jobs. It's bad for who works, for who get a job, but many times it's good for who puts a job because he has a lot of options to choose. Okay, obviously that's not the ideal scenario, but this is the scenario we have. Okay, so come here to Brazil if you are thinking to work remotely, have an income from outside Brazil, like in dollars, or come here if you want to invest, open a small bed and breakfast hotel in a beach, or some kind of very small business, as I say here. Some kind, don't invest a lot, invest just a few to just learn and learn a little bit more about the culture, okay? Don't invest a lot of money. You can just open business with a few money, okay? If you make money in dollars, okay? I don't recommend you as a foreign, don't speak Portuguese, don't know anybody here, to open a franchise, okay? A subscriber here from the channel mentioned it, but I don't recommend it at the beginning. At least you have a vast experience in business, because the reasons I mentioned in the beginning is a lot of employers is don't think you will open a franchise and everything will be solved, that the owner of the franchise will do everything for you. That's not true. You will have to do everything in the most cases, and he will collect only the royalties, okay? And you will invest a lot of money, okay? So don't do this. That's my recommendation. Only if you have a lot of money to spend, because a good franchise you can open here from minimum $100,000, okay? The minimum value you can open a good franchise, I could say $200,000. You can open like a very good franchise here, a food franchise, okay? Because the best franchise here are food franchise, okay? They are very easy to, let me say more easy to manage and to scale, okay? But you can open a business with $20,000 too, okay? A small business, okay? So you decide if you wanna invest $100,000 or $200,000, or you want to invest $20,000. You decide. I would be more conservative, okay? But if you are rich, that's not a problem, okay? If $200,000 is nothing for you, go ahead. Okay, so that's some of my advices as a native, and I had business here in Brazil, okay? Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, put in the comments, and see you.